Happy Sunday night, our relaxing dinner. My kids just came home and I was going to get their dinner in the oven before they got here, but I'm making roast chicken, which is one of their favorite things. It's a really good Sunday night dinner because you can use your leftovers for the rest of the week, and the crispy skin is delicious and all of those kinds of things. But I'm a little behind the 8 ball here because I went to pull out my chicken from my fridge and I had forgotten to take it out of the freezer on Friday, and it takes a couple days for a whole chicken to defrost. So I ran to the grocery store at 4:15 and got another chicken, and of course all the chickens they have are enormous. So I have this 6.5 pound chicken, which takes a little longer to cook. But the wonderful thing about roast chicken is that it's really flexible. You can cook it sort of low and slow. You can cook it hot and fast. I usually opt towards the hot and fast method, but the Julia Child method is really nice with the turning, and basting and all these things every 15 minutes, but it's very work intensive, and I prefer to blast it, turn it in the oven once, more like the pan, not the bird, and have a nice cocktail hour. My kids have been gone all weekend. We're gonna play bananagrams or something. So, and now we have time because this chicken's gonna take forever. But I have my oven preheated to 450. And then I'll probably drop it to 400 after about a half hour. And you can also start at 400 and drop it to 350 and do it a little more slowly. But since this thing is 6.5 pounds, we're gonna blast it a little bit more. Roasting chicken is really, really easy. It's just a matter of kind of working out your math, how many pounds you have and how much time it's gonna take. And the other thing that's sort of complicated is you end up having to wash your hands a lot. So, because you'll go to stuff a lemon in it, and then you're like, oh, now I have to open the oil, or, that kind of thing. So, the main thing for me is a lot of times figuring out how I can compress all of those hand washings. So anyway, the first thing that I'm gonna do is put a little pepper on it. So that then I don't have to touch the pepper grinder with my chickeny hands. And then I'm gonna put some salt on it. And since my hands are very, very clean right now, I'm gonna just stick my hand in this big tub of salt. Hi, honey. And put salt on it. The other thing that I didn't mention is you should dry it really well, because whole chickens are sort of watery, and it'll cook faster if it doesn't have to evaporate all of that liquid too. And you'll get a crispier skin instead of a soggy one. So dry it, salt and pepper, then put some olive oil all over the outside of it. Just kind of drizzle it really nicely. You don't be shy about it, because it's, even though there is fat in the skin, chicken skin is also kind of sticky. And so if you pour a bunch of olive oil in the pan, then it's less likely to stick to the pan. And then the next thing is we just have half a lemon. I actually had to cut one for this. I usually have some scrawny old lemon lying around in my kitchen in a dish, but today I did not because I used it for Bloody Marys yesterday. And a couple garlic cloves. And what I have done here is I just cut them in half so they're exposed. And then some sprigs of thyme. And you don't want to really super stuff it. Partially just because you're wanting that sort of air circulation inside and around the bird, and if you stuff it too tightly, you're not going to get any air circulation. So I'm actually going to go ahead and stuff all this stuff in there, my thyme and my lemon and my garlic. And just, I know it's kind of gross, but just, get up in there. Okay, and at this point I am gonna wash my hands. And you also want to make sure, you know, I forgot to mention this, but you want to make sure that you get the bag of organs and stuff out of it. There's usually like a neck and some gizzards and some livers, and sometimes I keep the livers and I, you know, use them for pate or something, or chop them up and put them in stuffing. I don't know what I'm gonna do with them today, but you know, at least they're not in the bird. You really don't want to leave them in there because they're in a plastic bag, and then they'll melt all over the inside of your chicken. So that's it. This is like, you know, again, one of the easiest things you can possibly do. It's just a matter of planning ahead, which I did not do today, but there's always a save. And the save today is a 450-degree oven. So I encourage you to look at some different sort of timetables, and there are a bunch of them on the internet and in, you know, cookbooks and stuff. And, you know, after a while you kind of get a feel for it and whether it looks like it's finished. So a couple of the signs are that, you know, there's sort of sometimes like a rain of spatters in the oven, or the leg moves easily, that kind of thing. And I just kind of, you know, it shrinks, right? Because it's lost some water. And, you know, it should be nicely browned, have a good crispy skin on it. And, you know, when you're carving it up, make sure you take your skin off really soon after you take it out of the oven, because otherwise it's going to steam the skin, and then it sort of negates the whole purpose of this process. So anyway, in the oven he goes, and let's see if it works, and then we'll have a nice long cocktail hour, it looks like. So happy Sunday. Have a good week ahead. Bye.